One more song left.
One more song.
I'd say it's better than last year just because we're all better musicians and just we're doing more stuff.
I'm great. I'm very excited. You know, we're rolling out our last day of production here, so things are looking good. Things are sounding good. I'm excited to share it with the world.
You know, I think this is a wonderful event, and it's really just a fantastic way to bring all of us back together again for the holidays, and I think this event is just so much fun for everybody.
In November of 2023, the Rumblejam Grooves filmed a Christmas special called the Jingle Bell Jam. Now, this special consisted of 9 different performances, 2 of which were from our special guest, the River City Sidemen, as well as Write It Red. When it came to Rumblejam's performances, each of our songs was a feature of one of our members. When we went to decide what song we wanted to do for Simon's feature, or I guess the Rhythm Section feature, we decided to play Christmas Time Is Here, right off of the Charlie Brown album. It's funny now that we look back on it, because not only was it a Charlie Brown tune, but it's also, I think, the first time that it was just the 3 of us on stage.
We are so excited to be here today. It is one of our final shows as a band here, so what a better place to do it.
Even after the conclusion of Rumblejam, me, Will, and Ronan continued to play shows just as a trio, and we decided to call ourselves SCWIRT because it lined up with our initials and no other reason. And then earlier this year, Will reached out to me and Ronan and asked if we would like to recreate the Charlie Brown Christmas album.
Charlie Brown Christmas album. Man, this album is like super close to my heart. You know, I grew up watching the special every year. The Peanuts are some of my favorite characters ever. I think, though, a lot of people pass over the fact that, you know, the music of the special, like Vince Guaraldi's playing and the music, is just so beautifully crafted and well put together. It's crazy. It's nostalgic. It's holiday. But it's also like bittersweet and almost melancholy in a lot of ways, both the special and the music alike, which I think is unique to a lot of Christmas culture and media. Not to mention, the idea of authentic jazz being in like a children's show, I think is awesome. Now that I had a jazz trio, we matched the same exact instrumental setup as Vince Guaraldi's piano trio. It was perfect. We can now add a world to, you know, that's just that one little sample that we gave on the special last year.
So we had about a month to, you know, study the album and take a look at it and learn all the music on our own. And me being me, I procrastinated it and put it off for way too long. So I ended up buying the music for it. We showed up to the first rehearsal, and nobody had really learned much from it. So I ended up handing the music around, and Simon learned from it, because for me I could just read the chords off the sheet, but Simon's carrying most of the weight, being a little trio with piano, bass, and drums. Will and I were kind of sitting on the back a little bit, providing him some cover, and it ended up working out.
Vince Guaraldi is a great pianist. He's a lot of fun to listen to, and in a way like Ahmad Jamal or maybe Red Garland or Wynton Kelly just have like really strong, you know, fundamentals, swing feel, and they have their own sort of pool of bebop vocabulary that they love to pull out multiple times during a solo or something like this. And when I was playing these tunes and these arrangements, I really wanted to, especially during the solo sections, have pieces of vocabulary that could be something I could pull out multiple times during a solo. And it was definitely a big ask. It was a big challenge to do an album this good and this recognizable, this well-known, do it justice. And we really wanted to have our appreciation and our love for the original album come through in the covers.
Vamp. F minor.
And then from there,
Yeah.
it's straight through.
Vamp solo, vamp, F minor, melody, vamp.
Once we got the first session showed up, we gave ourselves initially 2 sessions, but we ended up having a third because we ran out of some time. We pretty quickly figured out the music and ourselves, but we spent a lot of time pinning down the sounds that me and Simon wanted in the computer because it gave us way too many options, so we spent probably far too long on that. We did end up getting some nice sounds, but definitely that was probably a good time stealer, but the music wasn't too bad to learn. We got it together pretty quick.
The goal was to recreate and, stay true to the original, but also play it with a modern and 2024 lens. The themes, the melodies, the arrangements, all that kind of stuff, it's all the same. We didn't change any of that. But the solos, the flavor, the energy, which is while also being inspired by the original, is largely our own unique, interpretations and our own contributions to the energy, the essence of this album.
I've read it goes after that, right? The solo that goes after that.
Out of all the tracks that we recorded, I think that we added most of our own interpretations to Linus and Lucy. We were playing around with it in rehearsal before we recorded it, and I started playing like a hip-hop beat, more modern, almost like trap. And Simon started leaning into it. It's like, yeah, let's do that. And then I was like, oh, really? Like, I was very hesitant, because I wanted to stay true to the original and do it justice. But we started playing around with it. Like Ronan started slapping on this like 808 sonic bass line. It started to sound very, in the groove. It was sick. It was very us, very contemporary. I think that was my favorite one to record.
I would definitely say out of all the tracks in the album, Linus and Lucy is probably my favorite to record. Not only because we kind of did our own little rendition of it, but I love the random style changes on it. I've got the music up over here, which is why I'm kind of looking over, and it had the random, sudden style changes. It was a nice challenge to learn on, just to get all the transitions right and all that, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to play live, too. We played it a handful of times, and it was lovely.
I think my favorite track to record was Christmas Is Coming, just because Vince's arrangement is a lot of fun. It's, it's swinging, and it's, driving. It's really groovy. And then also, I just love improvising in the key of C, and it has a really cool switch up to a swing section where you just improv over 3 chords in C, and it's really fun. So that's my favorite.
Watching them play and record together was really cool. I was able to tell that there's a lot of musical chemistry between the 3 of them, seeing how they've played so much together and they can just almost read each other's minds at this point. Even more than what they did at Rumblejam, and just work as a cohesive unit and as a single entity at this point.
When Will first reached out to me about making this album, the thing that stuck out most in my mind was the vocals, because this album has 3 songs with vocals on it, and it's like a children's choir. It's actually the original voice actors for the Peanuts special doing the singing. So I was thinking the only vocalist in the group is Will, really. So that was a bit of a question I had for him. I wasn't really sure what direction we were going to go for that.
So I had reached out to a number of other Fresh Records associates who I thought would be interested in participating in this project. We got a few names, got some people to sign on.
I'm cheating. Well, that's harder than actually rolling ours. I can't. That shit, it pauses. I stutter. And just
well,
I've got a stutter. I can't.
Roll their R's.
There's Pokemon cards.
Wait, let me see.
What is that?
I think the best part about doing it with them was that because the original album choir was consisted of like children, we didn't necessarily have to be, you know, super professional sounding. It could almost be silly. Like, it didn't matter if notes were like slightly out of pitch, if we weren't all cohesive, because that was the original sound on the album. So it was really fun to, you know, create that, because we already had that like silly vibe, you know, it's a bunch of kids just recording music. So to be able to lean into that and like have it be rewarding back to us, sounding like the original, was, you know, was very, very, very cool.
You know how hard it is to find an HDMI to VGA cable adapter?
It's like really hard, probably to go to like a tutorial or something.
Oh, I had to find a USB-C to VGA.
Yeah,
instead.
I found it.
Yeah, he found it in a Staples.
Hey, they're doing a recording, guys.
Oh, I don't really care.
I helped provide some of the backing vocals for their Charlie Brown Christmas cover album. It was a great experience. So many talented people working on this. It was a ton of fun to record. I think we sounded pretty good. Maybe even a little bit better than those kids.
Yeah, I can't go that high the second time.
You can drop the octave. So you do it a total of...
I almost got that, to be honest.
You do it a total of 4 times. First 2 are in that same key. Third one is in that key above, and then back down in the 4th one.
Yeah, I guess higher.
We can do the first.
Children singing that song, so the notes are big test on a lot of our vocal ranges, but it was all right. A lot of us just decided to drop the octave on a lot of those notes.
Laying out the choir vocals was actually very, very quick. I think we went through them just once to practice, but I think within 2 to 3 takes we were satisfied with the goal we got.
Hark the Herald Angels Sing was probably the most difficult to sing. I asked Will if I could drop an octave, but he insisted that I go for the higher. I think he has a little more faith in my range than I do.
And I haven't really heard like the final cuts myself yet, but definitely at the end of the night on lots of the recordings we kept as good. I was very happy with them. And we listened back to them a couple days afterwards. I don't know if they were finals or not, or if they were just the same recording, no mixing, but they sounded great. And given that we've gotten like endless amounts of copyright strikes of sounding too close to the original, I think we did a pretty good job at it. I'm quite pleased with it.
I think it's really great what they're doing. I love music. I love jazz music now because of my brother. I love Christmas. I love Christmas music. I love Charlie Brown. So I'm really excited for this project to see how it all turns out, and I'm excited for everybody else to be able to listen to it as well. I'm just happy to be a part of everything.
Honored to be able to help with this project. It's comprised of such talented musicians and singers and such hard workers in our community. And it's something our community is very, very lucky to have, such young musicians. And overall, it's just a really fun project to work on, being able to work on it with my friends. It's similar to last year's, and I enjoy it equally as much.
This project was a little bit of a case study for the band because it really pushed us to understand a work and the mechanics and specifically the details of a work because we had to learn all the arrangements, and we had to ask ourselves, okay, what is the purpose of this, this bridge, this passage, this specific switch up, and we really wanted to capture the emotions that the original, conveyed. And it was sort of unusual for us because the way we played together usually was pick a tune, play the melody, and just solo. It was pretty much the same most of the time. So to really dig into the arrangement and really focus on the arrangement, it was new and it was a lot of fun.
I'm very, very proud of this project. I think Ronan and Simon are super, 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 super talented, and their greatness really, really shone through on this album. I'm looking forward to what's coming next. And I think now that we've kicked in the door with this recreation, I think that original music is definitely in the works for the three of us in the new year for sure. We only got so much time left to work with each other, so the pressure's on to create a lot more. A Charlie Brown Christmas, recreated by the SCWIRT Jazz Trio, is now streaming on YouTube. Go listen to it right now. Just click the channel, and you'll find it there.